And I saw this quote by Walt Whitman. It was painted on the wall there. It said, "Be curious, not judgmental." I like that.
That is the Ted Lasso I want coaching my team this season. The one who's willing to fight. Understood?
Yes, ma'am. You watch. From now on, I'll be floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee. Except I won't die immediately after using my stinger. I plan to float and sting for the entirety of the whole season.
I'm a bit late doing a Ted Lasso video, but like a lot of people, I have very mixed feelings about Season 3, and I needed some time to get my thoughts together. I didn't hate it as much as some people did. If you go off the general consensus on Reddit, Season 3 was a dumpster fire. But I honestly really enjoyed it. Me and my buddy got into a groove every Wednesday where he would come over, we'd order a pizza, and we'd watch the new Ted Lasso, and we had a great time. I didn't think Season 3 was bad by any stretch. I didn't mind the longer episode runtimes. I'd gladly spend hours and hours with these characters. The longer the episode, the better, as far as I'm concerned. The ensemble had gotten bigger than ever, with plenty of compelling characters to keep track of, so there was never much of an issue with pacing. But Season 3 was much too uneven and contrived, and at times a little misguided to live up to the greatness of the first two seasons. It was very hit and miss. When it hit, it really hit. But in between the hits, there were a few too many misses. I know I should be curious, not judgmental, so I won't dwell too much on the parts I didn't like. Instead of going through all the positives in one go and all the negatives in one go, I'll go positive, negative, and so on, and end on a big bundle of positives.
I know people say I'm crazy, but I still think I'd be underpaying you for what you mean to this club.
I'll start with a positive. The acting is still top-notch. Jason Sudeikis proves once again that he's not just a great joke deliverer, he's also an incredible actor. Hannah Waddingham and Juno Temple and Brett Goldstein continue to delight. Even when you're iffy on their actual storylines, they're still a joy to watch embodying these roles. Billy Harris really got to come into his own as Colin with his own dramatically deep storyline this season, and the legendary James Lance and his glorious head of hair finally got their rightful spot in the main ensemble. I could honestly see Ted Lasso getting like 10 acting nominations at the next Emmys. It has one of the best casts on TV.
How did you go through your money so fast?
Did you get addicted to the limelight?
No, I just like working here. I like spending time with my girlfriend. She was right there. Oh, that was my girlfriend. Okay.
Okay, now for a negative. I was really baffled by the directions they took Nate. The Season 2 twist that turned Nate into a villain was a really interesting turn for the show, and I wrote a whole article about how we got there. But in Season 3, after setting up Nate as a villain, it was like the writers couldn't go through with it. Rupert was set up as the Emperor to Nate's Vader, but unlike Vader, Nate turned back to the light side at the very first sign of Rupert's darkness. Instead of going all in on evil Nate, the writers gave him a love interest.
Everybody loves you. The great Ted Lasso, I think you're a fucking joke.
After making us hate Nate with his rant at Ted, the writers still wanted us to root for him in Season 3. I'm not against a Nate love story in principle, but Jade is the most blatantly one-dimensional character in the Ted Lasso universe. She's like a boring manic pixie dream girl. She exists solely to comfort Nate and guide him towards happiness. We barely learn anything about Jade herself, or her life outside this relationship. We get a very brief glimpse at her family history when she mentions an overseas trip that will keep her off screen for a while, and that's about it. And what's even worse than using a girlfriend character as the mouthpiece for Nate's conscience is that after taking forever to get Nate to the realization that he should make peace with Ted and go back to Richmond, all the important events that stemmed from that soul searching happened off screen. We never saw Nate quit West Ham, we never saw the Richmond players decide to forgive him and invite him back, and we never even saw his return to the team. It all happened in between episodes. It's not like the episodes weren't long enough to fit these scenes in. I did like how the Nate storyline wrapped up. Beard filling in his whole backstory and paying Ted's generosity forward was a really beautiful scene and one of my favorite moments from the whole series.
So to honor that, I forgive you. I offer you a job. The life part's up to you.
And I loved the unspoken moment between Ted and Nate when the players are repairing the Believe sign, and Nate's tearful apology was very sweet and earnest and incredibly well acted.
Listen, Ted.
I know. It's okay.
No, please, can you just let me say it? I'm sorry. so sorry.
But if Nate was going to be forgiven and afforded a second chance, I don't know why the writers spent so long meandering around avoiding his return to Richmond. Alright, another positive. I adored Roy and Jamie's blossoming friendship.
Hello, Uncle Roy.
What the fuck is he doing here?
I had to invite your best friend.
He's not my best friend.
One of the most beautiful moments from the series is when Jamie's dad comes into the locker room and starts being a dick, and Jamie punches him and kicks him out, and Roy just comes over and gives him a big hug. Roy and Jamie's Season 3 storyline was essentially an extension of that beautiful moment, with Roy becoming the father figure that Jamie desperately needs.
Thank you for your help too, you know, for motivating me, encouraging me. I haven't really had that from older men in my life.
Everything with Roy and Jamie this season was pure gold, from their Uncle's Day celebrations to Jamie teaching Roy how to ride a bike. I've also just loved Jamie's redemption in general throughout the whole series. If you go back and watch an early episode, Jamie is a total unapologetic prick. But throughout the 3 seasons, he was humbled by a few personal setbacks, he really made an effort to mature and think about others, and he emerged as a much better person. Unlike Nate's redemption, Jamie's was truly earned.
Hey, Jamie, you gotta sell that run through hard, baby. Make the defense believe you. Watch, like this. Ball! Ball! Give me the ball! I want the ball! Give me the ball! I would like the ball, please!
Yeah, pass me the ball! Pass me the ball! Please, I want the ball! Pass me the ball, please!
Another negative, the writers didn't seem to know what to do with Keeley this season. Her short-lived relationship with Jack served no purpose other than to show that same-sex couples can be just as toxic as straight couples, which I guess is a point. Keeley running a PR firm felt like she was off in her own spin-off show, but still within the main show. It was also weird to dedicate this whole story arc to Keeley's PR firm and then have her do anything but PR. Even when she faced her own public relations nightmare with a fappening-style leak, she just turned to Jack to sort it out. If I was a rich CEO who bankrolled someone's PR firm, I'd be a bit alarmed if they asked me to do their own PR for them. I still love Keeley as a character, but she seemed to only be included in this season because they wanted to keep her around. Her journey was being inspired by the Lasso way to become more self-assured and self-reliant, and that came to a head when she set up her own PR firm, so there's nowhere left for her story to go.
So I get to choose?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We're fucking idiots.
Anyway, enough with the negativity, or as Jamie would say, poopy.
It's just poopy. Let it flow.
I'll end on some positives. The series maintained its distinctive feel-good tone to the very end. From the Hey Jude sing-along to Rebecca's speech about what football means to people to the team rebuilding Sam's restaurant after it's vandalized, Season 3 had me crying tears of joy every week. I love that we got to see Ted's dance one last time. I loved all the callbacks in the finale in general, it felt like a real love letter to fans. Ted himself took more of a back seat this season, but I'm glad with where he ended up. He conquered the fears that stemmed from his dad's suicide, and he was able to go back to Kansas and be there for Henry. It was sad to see him leave Richmond behind, but that's not where he belongs. And the positivity and optimism that he brought to the team will stick around long after he's gone. I wasn't blown away by Ted Lasso Season 3, but I wasn't disappointed either. In a world where studios refuse to let any money-making franchise go gentle into that good night, Ted Lasso Season 3 has provided a satisfying ending to a beautiful story. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. Remember to like and subscribe and click on the little bell. And also seize the day and call your mom and be kind to yourself.
If you slow down for a second, take your time. You know I'm yours if you remember that you're mine.